Hey everyone, it is Tiffany.
And I'm Matt.
And we are here to give you a non-spoiler review of Solo, a Star Wars story. We just saw this a few days ago. We've had some time to kind of talk about it, and we just want to give you like our takeaway, a non-spoiler review, like I said. And yeah, like what are your initial thoughts, your gut reaction to the movie?
It was good. It was much in the way of like kind of Rogue One, where it's a separate story as, not part of the trilogies per se, but it does fit in nicely. It gives a bit more breadth to the character that we love as Han Solo. And yeah, it was a solid film. It was really done well, a lot of laughter, a lot of good jokes. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I came out just, having a good time.
For me, I am not super familiar with all the Star Wars movies. I have not seen Empire Strikes Back. I know that's sacrilegious before seeing this movie, so pretty unfamiliar with characters like Lando, but I know enough about Han Solo. Their presence is so big in the parks. Like, I'm not so green to Star Wars, but it really stands alone as a film. Like, at no point did I feel confused by what was happening. I felt like everything was kind of explained really well. I feel like I didn't miss out on anything by not knowing everything within the Star Wars universe, which I think is a testament to how well thought out this film is.
Yeah, they kept a lot separate, even more so than Rogue One, because Rogue One you kind of had to know where that took place as far as and when it was going to pick up for A New Hope. But in this case, the film, it's in that same kind of timeline. It's before Rogue One, but it is, no need to know anything. There's no mentions of Jedi or the Force. It's literally just an origin story for a character who, before A New Hope was completely removed from the Force. He didn't even believe in it. So you're kind of seeing how he became the character that we got introduced to in A New Hope.
It kind of feels like a Western movie. I feel like it's like,
I call it a buddy comedy, kind of. The way the movie's all about Han and Chewie, and it's their relationship in this film that just kind of, I think, makes the movie as great as it is.
I didn't realize that I was such a Chewie fan until seeing this movie, and I was like, oh wow, I really love Chewie, because
I don't think we've seen Chewie as much in one singular film as we did in this film.
Yeah,
so
but
you get to see all of Chewie.
It's really cool. You get to learn a lot about Han Solo, and you get to learn kind of a little bit of origin about his name. You get to see how him and Chewie meet. You get to see how him and Lando meet, and then we're introduced to really cool new characters like Kira. She's kind of a wild card in the film because
it's his initial love interest in the film, played by Emilia Clarke, as you all know from Game of Thrones. Yeah, she gets thrown into his world. You find out that they've kind of grown up together, and I don't want to give too much away, but they do get separated, and he tries to find his way back to her. So I guess that's a little bit of just a plot, I guess. But there's another great character, kind of reminiscent of K2SO from Rogue One, and that's L337, who is voiced hilariously by Phoebe, who's a newcomer, I think.
She's not been in a lot of stuff, but you guys, L3 is the droid that we need right now. L3 is the new feminist icon.
Yes.
She's so funny. Found out during the press junket that one of the best lines that I think in the entire movie, she completely ad-libbed. She has an agenda. She's very funny. She's very quippy, but she's a feminist, droid.
Very
really
sarcastic,
cool.
like K2SO was. But yeah, it was a female droid that is Lando's partner, much like Han and Chewie are partnered. Yeah,
really cool addition, I think, to this story. The movie as a whole, visual effects are top-notch as expected.
As you can expect, there's no problems there.
There's a lot of, practical things, I feel like, that was done in this, too. I was really kind of paying attention to some of the set pieces, because for me, when you see these movies that take place before the first trilogy was released,
the original trilogy,
it gets a little crazy timeline wise for me, but it's one of those it feels like it fits in without being too glossy for a new movie. So I think they walked a really great line on making a new movie that, feels modern and feels expected when you go to the movies in 2018.
Yeah.
But it feels dated in the right ways to make you believe that it happened before the original trilogy.
Yeah, they keep it grounded. I think that's great that they keep the kind of same aesthetic and the same look from the original trilogy, but, with some of our technology as well. that kind of seamlessly fits right in.
I think everyone is blown away by Donald Glover's version of Lando. I wasn't super familiar with Lando. I watched the Lando scenes after I had seen the movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I see what he did there. But Donald Glover's having such a great moment, and I think this is really like a moment for him to shine as Lando. And he had said that he had wanted to be Lando ever since he was like a little kid. He's a Star Wars fan. His dad was a Star Wars fan.
He must have watched it a lot. He had Billy D. Williams, Lando, like down his... just watching it, you got lost and you forget that it's Donald Glover, and you think that's just young Lando. He did such an amazing job. I don't want to say it's not copying him, but not impersonating either, but embodying him. And I think that was really well. The same goes for Han Solo.
Yeah, I was gonna say that with Alden. I cannot pronounce his last name.
Ehrenreich.
Yeah, crazy last name. What a great job. Like, imagine filling the shoes of Harrison Ford and being able to pull it off and be believable. I think he did a really great job.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you believe him as Han Solo, and you get to see him kind of take this journey, and it's not a stretch from the performance that he delivered to, like, being Harrison Ford's version of Han Solo that we're all already familiar with.
Yeah, and I think as you were saying before, you get to see some cool things that you were expecting, and I would say some questions that we've had in the past kind of get resolved. Like, how did Han, exactly get the Millennium Falcon? How did Han meet Chewie? You get those questions answered. And how did Han actually become the smuggler, the notorious guy that he is? But you don't get all the answers you're looking for, and you get more questions.
It's cool. It feels like a really great addition to all of the Star Wars saga as a whole. And I appreciate anything that has more character development. I feel like I will have more fun getting into more Star Wars movies because of this one. Like, the tone is really fun. There's a lot of fun comedy, a lot of really great action, and like I said, seeing that character arc is really cool. I feel like it's a really good kind of starting point that if you're not vibing the Star Wars movies, I feel like if you start with this one, you're going to be like, oh, cool, this is a universe that I can get into, because I feel like that's kind of where I walked out of that being like, no, I want to finish all of the films now.
Yeah.
Like, it made me kind of more excited for Star Wars.
Well, yeah, and you're lucky, I mean, in a sense, to never seen the original trilogy, that you could watch Solo and then go into, A New Hope, and it's kind of watching it in chronological order, and it's fresh to you, so you could see it all play out in the right amount of time.
Yeah. It's cool. So this movie comes out May 25th. It's Memorial Day weekend. Tickets, I believe, are early available now. And give this video a thumbs up if you guys are a Star Wars fan and ready to see this movie, because I know there's a lot of hype about it, and I feel like it delivers. I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans will be really happy with this film. So I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed. So leave a comment if you guys are excited, and yeah, let us know what you think afterward.
Bye.
Bye.